Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 5. I can't believe the class is going by this fast. I hope it is for you just as much as it is for me. First of all, I wanted to say thank you for everyone for submitting their papers. I really enjoyed reading them, and I wanted to congratulate everyone on really working in depth with the theories that we've been learning, our readings, and our discussions that we've been having, because as I'm reading your papers, I could clearly see that you are applying the knowledge that we've been talking about, and that was really exciting to see. So this week we are going to be moving on, and you guys are going to be doing your initial assessment video paper. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to send me an email so that I can assist in any way that I can. So moving on, this week we're going to be talking about diverse populations and working with clients who are culturally and ethically diverse from us. So in working with these populations, we're going to be seeing people of different genders, different skin colors, religion, values, economic status, and gender. And the largest area that we come across is poverty, and understanding how poverty affects our clients and how poverty can affect them in many different ways. And unfortunately, the poverty level in inner cities and urban areas are going to be much higher. However, we can't always discount the model patient who comes from a suburban area who claims they have no issues with poverty. However, during your sessions, you're going to see a lot more connections to poverty than they're willing to admit. Now, it can be difficult when a patient comes to us to discuss the things that they can't afford, for their families. We're going to automatically want to jump in and try to save the day, try to help the patient to the best of our ability. But we have to remember to allow that client to have their own autonomy and their own resilience, and helping them understand how they can improve their own situation. For example, signing up for a food bank or signing up for welfare, maybe actually signing up for Medicaid if they don't have any, signing up for disability or signing up for WIC. Those are just a few examples, but helping them realize that they can do this and you can assist them in the process, but they can have their own autonomy in doing it will help shape that collaborative relationship that we've been talking about and help them feel empowered to help themselves, which is extremely important. So you're also, as I stated before, you're going to have those patients that come to you that seem very put together and are going to throw off poverty like it does not affect their life. And you're going to be seeing a lot of defense mechanisms that are going to be coming up. But through that collaborative relationship that you've developed with that patient, you're going to be realizing that poverty is affecting them a lot more than they're allowing themselves to know. And through that collaborative relationship, you're going to be helping them develop skills and tools to be able to help their poverty level that they weren't really willing to admit to you in the beginning, but now they are opening up to you about. So moving forward to understand what cultural competence even means. Now in every situation we're going to encounter, there's going to be different perspectives. There's going to be a male versus female, a middle class versus upper class, or middle class versus lower class situation, a race versus race, religion versus religion. Those are the different perspectives that you're obviously going to be encountering in your practice. So for us to be culturally competent, it's the ability to understand and communicate with how effective we interact with people across different cultures. So cultural competence encompasses being aware of one's own worldview, developing positive attitudes toward cultural differences, and gaining knowledge of different cultural practices and worldviews. Now, in your practice, it's okay to ask a question about that patient's culture if it's relevant to your conversation. This will allow them to see that you're interested in their culture and getting to know them, and it will enhance that collaborative relationship. If it's, like I said, if it's relevant. So something that wouldn't be relevant, is if somebody comes in, wearing a garb and you question, why they're wearing that on such a 90-degree weather. That doesn't help them. Something that would be more beneficial is if they're talking about their culture and how they feel fatigued at work and it's a stressor for them, but because of their religion, they're fasting. That's something that's an in for you so that you can help yourself understand a little bit about what they're going through so you can help them process and help them figure out how they can get through this tough maybe it's weeks, maybe it's days, or however long they're fasting to help them through that. So, being culturally competent does not mean that we're going to be able to handle every situation that the client brings to us. However, it allows us to allow the client to be free to be who they are. So, some things I want you to think about are some questions that some clients may bring up to you because they're going to take one look at us and they're going to automatically assume about the judgment we're going to have about them before we're even going to be able to develop that collaborative relationship sometimes. So some things you might encounter are, just for some examples are, how would you know how I feel? I'm practically old enough to be your mother. For somebody who's a younger social worker dealing with an older female client, that is something that may come up. Or, you don't know what type of discrimination I've been through. Or, how would you know how I feel? You're just here to get a paycheck. I'm living in poverty and you're out there in wealth. A lot of sometimes the clients, they view you as being more prestige than them, and they feel like sometimes you don't really understand where they're coming from. So to really be able to bring them back and help them understand that we understand their culture, we understand their diversity, we understand that what they've went through, and we can help get them through what they're feeling. We can't always change exactly how they're going to feel about us, but we can start to develop that collaborative relationship that we talked about in previous weeks that is going to be hard for us with this certain population. Another topic I want to bring up is sexuality. So most people forget about the LGBTQ community when discussing cultural competence, but it is actually really essential. So understanding that we're working with generations who feel differently about this topic in general, such as maybe mom accepts the client for who they are, but dad does not. Maybe mom left dad to be with a woman, but the child and dad don't accept what mom has done. You're going to be working with grandparents who feel that their grandchild are on the wrong path. So there are many different generations of people in our society who feel very differently about the LGBTQ community. So our cultural competence is really essential within this population. So working with this population, you must be adaptable to their needs and their wants. They themselves may still be on the path to self-discovery and experiencing cultural challenges, or maybe they have accepted who they are, but they're having trouble with society, friends, or family, and they're getting that cultural pushback from them. The biggest thing to remember to do with this population is allowing our cultural competence to create a safe space for them. With this environment, it allows them to feel safe in treatment, which our space, unfortunately, may be the only place that they feel safe to disclose information. So through our cultural competence, we need to welcome everything that they say and create that safe space so that they continue to come back and our relationship continues to enhance and we can help improve them in treatment. So in working with a client of a different culture, it's okay to find information on that culture if you feel it's going to help your collaborative relationship. By doing some research on your own time, helping yourself understand who they are so you can better connect with them. That's okay. So some clients you have may be first-generation immigrants or second-generation immigrants, and they're still adapting to what our society in America, seems as normal. So diversity in gender, race, age, and ethnicity isn't just what keeps social work going, it's what keeps America as a whole going. So being mindful to be sensitive as cultures are extremely different. As we go through our practice, we need to really understand how what we say can offend somebody, and not in a harmful way, that we feel, but maybe to them it's extremely harmful. So making sure that you're always understanding how your client is perceiving your words and how you are meaning to perceive them, always checking in and making sure that they understand what you mean is extremely important so that they don't leave the session feeling my feelings weren't acknowledged, they offended me, they were rude to me, and then you may not know that they feel that way. And then they miss their next appointment, they miss their second appointment, and then you never hear from them again. So you always just want to make sure that you're checking in with them because that's really what's most important. So, in closing, be mindful of different cultures is key. I don't expect everyone to know everything about every single culture, but I want you all to be open about the different ideas, views, and feelings that you're going to be hearing. Being ethically sensitive with the client of a different culture and understanding how they internally work will help you guide them through the change process that we talked about in previous weeks as well. So this week, I really want you to focus on the up-and-coming paper because that's extremely important. So if you guys have any questions about anything you heard today, or if you have questions about your paper, please feel free to let me know. I hope everyone has a great week. All right, thank you.